Okay, part 2 of your color theory. We're going to expand on the color wheel and we're going to make a color chart. So again, you need your pencil, your ruler, paintbrush, 3 primary colors, your black and white. So you're going to come in and you're going to pick up your color wheel. You're going to turn it over. The measurements are already written down for you. You might want to write this down in your sketchbook. In fact, you need to write this down in your sketchbook. Add it to your table of contents and then put this on the next page. So your rectangles are going to be 7 centimeters long. So you would essentially lay your ruler down, mark 7, 14, 21. You are going to have a little bit of space left over. That is going to be for your name and parallel. Your rectangles are going to be 2.5 centimeters wide. So 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, and so on. Okay? This first section is going to be for the hues. Hue is another word for color. This second section is going to be tints. Tints is where you add white to your hue. Shades is where you add black to your hue. And then the complements are opposite each other on the color wheel. Make note that when you make your tints, you need to wipe your table clean because you cannot add the black to the tint. You must add the black to the actual hue. Does that make sense? Okay. Started project, name and parallel. This first row is the hue. The second row is the tint. The third row is the shades. And then the complement. So I will do I'll do the orange, mix the orange tint, shade, and the complement is the complementary color. So if I am working on orange, here's your color wheel. Orange is across the color wheel from blue. So I would mix orange and blue, and I would put that in this space right here. With the palette that you have, the colors that you have most likely, you're going to get a bunch of muddy looking colors. That's normal, okay? So really quickly, we'll do a little bit of a tint here. So you're gonna add your white. I am using old paints, so a little bit of white. And I'm gonna add a little bit of black just for the sake of time. Okay, so I take my orange and I take my white and I come up with a pretty pastel color. And that's going to go in this section right here. Just as with your color wheel, we will be grading on craftsmanship. It must be neat. You can't just paint and make a mess and expect that that's going to get yourself a good grade. Okay? Again, you need to make sure that you change your water, change your paintbrush, make sure everything is clean. For your shade, it is super important that you realize you need very fun. It's really important when you're working on your tints and your shades, especially the shades, you want just a tad bit of black. This, in fact, is probably too much. So I'm going to dab it on the desk a little bit, and I'm going to take almost no black, and I'm going to add it to my orange. And it's going to all turn into some dark brownish color. I actually want a little bit more, but again, I'm starting with a tiny little bit. Black changes the color drastically, so be really careful. You want to make sure that you can see the color difference in your shades. Working again neatly, your shade goes in the third row down, making sure you fill in your rectangle completely. When it comes to your complementary colors, I stated earlier that it is the opposite on the color wheel, so you have your red and you have your green. Mix those two together, place that in both rectangles, okay? And you just go along the line and you paint them twice, okay? You're gonna have 3 days to complete both the color wheel and your color chart. If you would like to do something a little bit more creative, I will put that option, a photo of that option on Edmodo as well.
that is an option. You will get a little extra time and a little extra credit. Okay? Questions, please make sure you come and ask.